great competition, really in every room on the team. That's been a lot of fun. Practice number 6 done, and as I just told the team, and we're outside of game week, we're 12 or less practices before we got to be ready to go, and so we don't have a day to waste. And they got a lot of improvement to do, but it's a really competitive team. And again, that's kind of what I said even in the spring. Saw a lot of, through 6 days, a lot of back and forth, and leadership is really strong on both sides of the ball. So it's been really encouraging. This is a time when you develop, your mental and your physical toughness that you want your team to be about. There's no way to get them ready other than doing really hard stuff. So that's what camp's all about. But tomorrow's a day off physically, and kind of go 3 days is our schedule right now. And then we'll take a day where it's just mostly mental and some other team building things, and coaches kind of circle up and get ready for the next 3 days. And that's kind of the schedule that we're on right now. Scrimmage on Saturday, so everything's been building up to that, and both the workload, series, play count, things of that nature, situational. Certainly, we've done 2-minute, 2-point, last 2 plays, backed up. Start at the midfield, go into the green zone, high red. Been a lot of really good competitive work. First down, play second down play third down. So trying to sequence plays, and even into the third down, play fourth down. So trying to develop a really smart, aware football team, and a team that can play the game before the game happens. But so far, the signs to me of what you really are hoping to see, what we've seen so far is a team that's really player-driven. Got a lot of loud voices, again, a lot of guys that are heavily invested, and it's cool to be able to hear that leadership, see the leadership, hear the leadership. They've been really impressive from that standpoint.
What do you hope to achieve in that first scrimmage on Saturday?
Yeah, again, just how we play, the effort. Don't want it to be sloppy, taking care of the football, making good decisions on offense, playing within the scheme on both sides of the ball. Certainly will be some special teams too, and getting these guys to really understand the value of creating field position, all the hidden yardage. We'll work some of those situations and put some pressure on those guys, both in protection, our cover units, and different field zones, how we play special teams. Put some pressure on our kickers and the punter as well. And then no sloppiness tackling from a standpoint on defense, tackling and preventing explosive plays. If they make big plays, they do it by earning it. And I saw that today. Saw a couple of really good competitive plays in a red zone live period. Today was our first day that we did some live, and it was good. So again, building to that, what you want. We'll have a second scrimmage in a few days after that, and then the guys that we feel like need it for more of a situational scrimmage after that.
How do you feel like the offense has just come together with a bunch of new guys and just kind of installing that offense?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's never as fast as you want, but it's also at the same time a lot of the things that they've been able to establish and install has been impressive, and getting all of your parts to be able to be available at once, is what you hope for, and that's really both sides of the ball. But this will be the first opportunity for them to get the coaches and everything like that off the field, and let them go operate on their own situation, get in a rhythm. But they installed a lot. You put in a lot early, put a lot of pressure on the players, and get these guys to learn the value of working outside of what's required. What's required ain't never enough, and but that part's been good. And again, they've got a really good, synergy about them. That is something that is typically takes some time, but you do sense that from the guys.
You mentioned earlier that you wanted more explosive plays. Have you seen some guys stand out at playmaking, running back, wide receiver?
Yeah, I've seen several players. Won't single out anybody in particular, but both the running game and catching the ball, tight end. We've tried to put them in a lot of competitive situations. The be ready periods that we have sporadically unannounced during practice the first 6 days, whether that's one-on-one pass rush, it's one-on-one receiver, tight end, backs with the skill guys. Again, situational, you got 2 plays to go win the game. 4th and goal to 6, got to go win. 2-point plays to go win, things like that. Field goal kicker every day, and the punter. We try to put pressure on those guys every day. And guys have responded. There's been good and bad both sides of the ball.
Brent, have you developed some linebacker? I mean, have you developed depth at linebacker?
I feel better about that position as a little bit concerned. There was a lot still to be figured out, developed. Consistency, the things from the spring, just trying to get a feel for that. Didn't feel great, only because didn't have enough time to feel great in the spring. But through summer and through the first part of camp, the coaches have done a wonderful job. The players have done a great job attacking the areas that we needed to attack, and we're starting to figure out, what 3 guys can do together, and the strengths and weaknesses, areas that we still got to work on, things like that. Feel a lot better. I feel really good about that group actually now.
Does that put Kendall Daniels more at that spot? He's kind of a receiver, linebacker.
Yeah, but that is a spot. They're all linebackers, hybrids. But I think his ability to play all 3 positions is what he has shown, and so excited about that. Be able to play behind the ball is different than playing outside on an edge, and he's done really well. He's got a good skill set, man zone, pass rusher, A-gap fitter, things like that, taking on blocks. So he sees things well inside. But the other guys have all gotten better. That's the best part of all of it is, Kip Lewis, Kobe McKenzie, Sammy, Taylor Wine, James Nesta, Owen Heineke. He's played really, really well. He's had as good a camp as anybody through 6 days. You see a lot of hard work in the summer. He's super instinctive, very athletic, explosive tackler, good in space, excellent blitzer. He's got really nice instincts behind the ball.
Brent, you talk about the one-on-ones. We got a chance to see Elijah Thomas in that situation a little bit the other day. What stood out to you about him, the way he's handled it as a freshman?
Yeah, he's got great, strong hands, tremendous length, body control, timing. His instincts show up. Some of his defensive instincts show up. But at the end of the day, he's a confident, physically mature guy that's put in a lot of hard work, got great humility. A lot of young guys, they haven't had a lot of failure, if you will, and certainly hasn't been perfect, but he's received the hard, tough coaching, the pressure of the moments that you got to show up every day. Something's on the line. He's showing up every day. He's competitive, toughness for a young guy, and then the consistency. We had the GM for the Bears spoke to the team yesterday, and right on cue, he said the number one thing that they value as an organization with players in both retention and in drafting is consistency. Got to be good enough, but guys that they play at a high level consistently. They show up with the same mindset every day. They know how to compete every day. They don't get too high, never too low. They have humility and respect for what it takes to win, to have success. And so that was great affirmation for our guys. And he's a young player that's bought into that. And again, he's just beginning. He's got a lot in front of him. He certainly has more polish and better days in front of him, but he's got a mental and a physical maturity that a lot of guys, young players, don't necessarily have right away. So he'll be a guy that certainly will help us. But he's a guy that the bigger and again, very small sample size, but the bigger the moment, the better he plays.
Brent, on that note, we've heard John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle refer to Isaiah Sakenya as reliable. When you have a veteran like that and you're installing a new offense, just what's the value of him being
Speaking of consistent, and he's really at a high level. He's super competitive. He's wide open. Every day he's all out in everything that he does, special teams, offense, every drill. He's at the same speed and the same focus, the same intensity, the same passion. Made a great competitive play that got us down inside the 5 today. He plays big, plays tough, and just doesn't say a whole lot, but man, he knows how to compete at a really high level and then makes plays.
What is it?
Guys that are standing out in terms of controlling the vibe and the energy of your practices, guys that people are gravitating towards.
Yeah, I've been bragging that we have really good depth that way. Fabechi and John, Javante, Jacob Sexton, Jaron Canick, guys on offense. J. Mike and Keontez Lewis, those are guys that bring great juice and energy every day. Carson Kent, super tough and competitive, and plays with a lot of passion, competes with a lot of passion. And then, again, I'm probably forgetting a few guys. Troy Everett, obviously, I've been bragging on his leadership. And then defensively, R. Mason, Kobe, Dolby, Gentry Williams, Robert Spears, Kip Lewis. I'm naming a lot of guys. And Cortland Gilroy, for a young player, man, he loves to compete. He's so hungry to learn. But I love, again, Reggie Powers, his passion and energy and intensity, his playmaking. I've told the coach we find a way to get this dude on the field, man, because he makes a ton of competitive plays. One thing to look good when nobody's blocking you, we're not in a scrimmage or running around through drills, but when it's time to play any competitive situation, I'd want Reggie at the front of the line. Just knows how to show up. And Boganowski, I mean, wherever he was a year ago, man, he's in another solar system. He's always played wide open and really fast. He's been always an elite effort guy, super physical. But man, now he has a process, and that's the challenge, man. You just can't have elite effort. You just can't be excited to play, man. You got to have a process. You have an elite process. You have an elite mindset. You take the bad with the good. You're ready to compete. You're ready to have competitive endurance from beginning to the end of practice. You're prepared. You do the things you need to do to have your body right, your mind right, your spirit right. You go through a process, pre-snap and post-snap. That's where, those two young players in particular, man, they've just elevated their game and elevated the room. And so I can legitimately say that, across the board. Defensive tackles, again, Dom Williams and David Stone, Jaden Jackson. Those guys in particular have really done a great job from a leadership standpoint. Been really exciting to see all of those guys that I just mentioned, develop.
You're going.
Right.
Sorry, you're going into a scrimmage, obviously this week. What is it that you look most forward to, or that you're looking for in your first scrimmage?
Yeah.
Because it's always different with every team, obviously. But with this team in particular, what are you most looking forward to, or into with what they got?
Yeah, want a clean scrimmage.
Yeah.
Procedural things, pre-snap, penalties, sloppiness, take care of the football, make good decisions. Defensively, no explosive plays, get lined up, do a great job communicating, and we really want to see a team that communicates well. And that's both sides. There's a lot going on before the ball's every snap. Get everybody on the same page. That's when you give yourself a chance, to have success. When you have your hand in the dirt, you know where to put my eyes. You can play with great fundamental techniques, effort, those types of things. You did a great job of communicating, everybody being on the same page. So you want to see all those things, and then, take a big step in the kicking game, with the confidence in the guys kicking the ball, punting and kicking, and then, again, who those coverage teams are, making sure we got the right people, on the bus when it comes to that understand the value, in a one-possession league, all those hidden yardage that make a big difference. A year ago, we were number 2 special teams team going into our last regular season game, and we gave up a 100-yard kickoff return that put us at number 6 efficiency in the conference. One mistake, losing leverage to the field. There's 4 guys at the field, all freshmen, that had done a really good job all year and kind of took the play off, if you will. Didn't have, do the things that, winning requires, and good teams are going to find you. And they did, and punish you, and that's the game that you're going in the fourth quarter, whatever you want to say, good or bad, how we play. We're going in the fourth quarter, it's 24-17, start of the fourth quarter, and had given up a 100-yard kickoff return, in that game, a game that we didn't play great on offense, and, we needed to get off the field a couple critical times on defense on third down. You do those things, and you have the discipline to play that play like, the season's on the line. You go on the road and you have a chance to win that game. And so that's as big of a deal as any. But I feel great about that. The number of third and fourth year players that we have that are heavily involved in the kicking game, they're only going to be better. And that's what we've seen, the hunger, the attitude, the energy. Man, if I've been impressed with anything with this football team, it's exactly that. Very, very driven, super competitive, great energy, humility, let you coach them hard. You don't have to pull teeth to get them ready to come to meetings or team meeting, at 8 o'clock in the morning. These guys are ready to go. And they got a lot to prove and hungry to do that. We all do.
Do you think last year had obviously? Do you
I think it's a new team. I think this is a group. I think we've recruited, a locker room that likes to play and compete, and show up. They know the value of practice. The most important thing we do is practice, and that's what you're going to see here. It's not about chasing perfection. It's all about developing and creating great habits that are going to be the foundation for this football team. So, if we don't have an elite mindset that loves to compete, loves to invest in the process and do all the little things, then we're not going to have any kind of chance. But we got the right guys. That's what I know. And so that's been a lot of fun to see. And the competition, I think, has brought the best out in everybody.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.